So here we have another cube, and I've actually been wanting to get this for a while now, because specifically I saw the fact that this is 55 millimeters and this is the GAN V100. Honestly, I should make a video on why this naming scheme doesn't make sense. I think let's get started and open this. So we got this cube. Interesting, it comes in a frosted box. We got an accessories box, and since I guess I clearly don't show enough of it here, we got this thing. This is the thing to open the center caps, although I think you could also open it with your hand. And you got the fire hydrant tool. So I'm definitely gonna need that later. There's also some pamphlets in here. Like, oh yeah, we also got the center cap with the V100 logo, and limited edition one. So I think it's the first batch of it that you're able to get that center cap for. I think it's actually time for the cube. I think it's actually the first time in a while that I've gotten any cube with black internals outside of the GMP, and I have a GAN X that also has black internals, so it kind of reminds me of that. But let's do some first turns. Ooh. Okay. There's like something that is like rattling in here for some reason. I don't know where it's coming from, but okay. There's just some random piece of plastic that was in here for some reason. It is really fast, but I can control it a little bit. I feel like I need to just put in a little bit of lube to slow it down. I honestly can't really compare this with the 16 because I literally don't have the GAN 16. But yeah, I guess because this is also 55 millimeters, it is kind of at the size of the Worm V9, and I actually kind of liked that all the cubes that came after the V9, like the V10 and the V11, were a little bit bigger by like half a millimeter, and also the GAN 12 was 56 millimeters, so it felt a little bit too big for me. I mean, I think the like V11 and V10 were a little bit okay in terms of size for me, but I still kind of like the 55 millimeter size of the V9 a little bit better. But yeah, corner cutting, 45, reverse. I think pretty much just like every cube. I think like at this point, like every cube is good, and it's pretty much personal preference. I mean, there are some not really that great cubes, but overall, I think for my first impressions, I think it is good. I think I do catch a little bit on it. Do a solve. I think this is quite literally only mat I have currently. I'm just in a hand scramble. I did not prepare for this unboxing. Something's wrong. Okay. What is happening? Oh, one of the magnets is loose. What just happened? What? So that's why it was rattling. So that's what that random plastic piece was for. I'm definitely gonna need to like set up this cube, and I'll tell a little bit of what I think of this cube. So I've been using the GAN V100 for almost more than a week now, and I think I'm pretty happy with it. I currently have the cube set on center travel 5 and MagLev tension 10, and on that settings is where I feel the cube performs best for me. With this setup, I am able to get pretty much the exact same times as I would get on my other cubes, including the V11, but it did take a lot of setup to get it to where it is now, because originally it was way too fast and a bit uncontrollable, but after putting in some compound 10, Dignitas, and FZ Calm, the cube is now at a speed where I want it to be. In terms of the feeling, it feels a lot like a GAN 12, but a little bit more clackier in terms of that sense. I can't really compare it with the GAN 16 because I don't have the GAN 16, but if I do get it, I might try to make a comparison to that. But then again, the GAN 16 is really, really expensive in comparison to this cube, so maybe you'll have to see later on. It also feels a little bit more stable than my V11, but I think it's probably because I actually got the 8 magnet version of the V11 in comparison to that. But some problems I do have with the V100 is that I do catch a little bit. It is on the same level of catching as the GAN 12, so not like the GAN 15 when I had it before, but I do notice it whenever I'm doing a lot of D moves. So in the case of E perms, G perms, or most commonly with A perms, or even just scrambling the cube. But to be fair, it's not as bad as on the GAN 15 where I was catching really badly on that cube. But the one other problem that I have, and I don't know if anyone else has had this problem, is the fact that when I did unbox this cube, one of the corner magnets and the plastic piece fell out of the cube. I definitely did notice it when I was first trying to do a solve after taking out what seemed to be just a random piece of plastic, but as it turns out, that piece of plastic actually holds in the core magnet together. Be aware of that when you do buy this cube. Aside from that, I think the fact that this cube is pretty much half the price of the GAN 16 and shares the same mechanism, it's just a little bit smaller, is definitely quite interesting, knowing how previous cheaper GAN cubes were not that great. Do I recommend this cube? However, for most people, I feel like the V11 is a better cube and also can handle different turning styles more than this cube can. I feel like this cube, the V100, requires a more precise and light turning style. I think for people who do have a somewhat aggressive turning style, you will run into way more catches than you probably would want to, aside from the catches that you normally would expect on many cubes. So I think either the V11 or V10 would definitely be a better buy for most people. But if you do like GAN cubes and you also do like smaller, more compact cubes, I think this would be definitely good if you are within that market, or you want to get a UV coated cube with black internals that is quite good, then I would get this, of course. But for most people, just get the V11.